been up to?
Well, yesterday, um, I shaved my head. I don't know if anybody knows or if I've ever talked about it, but I'm bald because the universe didn't think that me being fat was enough.
At least you can grow a good beard.
Yeah, I guess so. And I mean, I can't blame the universe for me being fat. That's entirely my fault. I mean, I'm not like, I'm fat. It's unfair. I'm like, no, I'm fat because I ate too much.
Fat because I love delicious food.
Yeah. I was living life to the fullest.
You're living your truth.
Yeah, I'm living my truth.
I'm living my fattest truth.
But yeah, I was shaving my head because, I started losing my hair probably 4 or 5 years ago. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just shave this motherfucker off because like I'm not about to sit here and fight this thing.
Yeah.
So I was shaving my head last night and I cut myself and I felt it and I was like, oops, I nicked myself. No big deal, whatever. So I continued shaving, whatever. And I stuck my head underneath the water to rinse my head off. And it looked like somebody had shot me in the back of the head. Like, it was just like a river of blood coming down my shoulders. And I was like, oh my fucking God, what happened back there? And so I got out of the shower and I toweled off and there's just blood all in the towel. And I can't see the back of my head. I don't know how bad this is. And so Mary was asleep on the couch. She had fallen asleep while I was at the gym. And so I had to wake her up. I was like, hey, I need you to kind of help me clean the back of my head and put a Band-Aid on me. I was like, otherwise I'm going to just bleed all over the sheets and the pillow.
Yeah, like I've cut myself before, like shaving like my face and everything, and it just bleeds and bleeds and bleeds. Especially like any like cut with like a razor blade like that.
Yeah, because it's just such a clean cut.
Yeah, especially I remember one time, like when I kind of first started shaving, I was like, oh, I'll do like a little quick swoop. And so like instead of just going straight down, I like kind of curved. Yeah, curved it at the end and just cut the fuck out of my face. Like it was really bad.
That's how you get yourself.
Yep. And then I was like, oh, never again.
You got to go latitudinal.
Yeah, there can't be any back and forth with that razor blade because if that happens, it's gonna get your ass.
Yeah, it's your scalp and the skin on your hands have a lot of capillaries close to the surface, from what I understand. And that's why when you like cut your fingers or you cut your head or something like that, even if it's a little cut, that's why it bleeds so much. It looks so bad.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. It's like it's putting more blood to that area. I mean, like the small, it's not like a massive vein or anything, but that's kind of why that area bleeds more.
Yeah, it's like, have you ever like accidentally, busted a chunk out of like a fat part of your body somewhere, like your like back of your thigh or something, and it's just kind of like a split in your meat, and it's not bleeding a whole lot.
Yeah, I had that happen in like my calf one time at football practice, and it didn't really bleed that much.
Yeah, but it was like a deep wound.
Yeah,
it's very weird when you see that.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because it's like I saw the muscle and I was like, oh shit, and like kind of stopped looking at it real quick.
Yeah, you would expect that thing to be gushing.
Yeah, like, and it hardly bled at all. Because I remember that because we like went back up to the field house and they just like taped my leg back up, and I have this massive scar on the back of my leg.
You remember when me and Mary, when we were in Panama City recently, we went to Shipwreck Island, and it reminded me of that time that we were standing in line with Aaron for that one ride, and we had those mats,
Oh yeah,
the ones you go down, and it was really hot that day, and Aaron decided that he didn't want to stand on the hot concrete in his bare feet, so he took that he took that foam mat and he put it down on the ground, and he like didn't step onto it. He jumped up in the air and landed on it. And it was, his feet are wet and the mat's wet. And so he slipped and his shin just bashes in to that metal bar, like the handrail. And It
It was
dented
like
his
wooden.
leg.
It was like wooden, it was like those wooden spokes like they have in fences, and it
I
was
thought,
and it was like a square, like a squared shape or whatever. So
yeah,
he like knocked a big notch out of his shin.
it was the wildest looking thing I've ever seen. Me and you and Aaron just looked at his leg, and it was like
Like
a
nobody said anything.
yeah, nobody had acknowledged it, but it was like he had a dent in his leg, like you dent the hood of your car.
We were just like, holy shit.
And I remember that we like made it, and he didn't like freak out or cry or anything, and he was a little kid at the time. But I remember like we made it a little bit further up the line, and we looked at his leg, and I guess it had popped back out.
I know it was the wildest thing. I was like,
It was
where did
very
that go? I
strange.
swear to God.
Like, there's no way all three of us simultaneously hallucinated that dent in your leg.
Yeah, I was like, did I have a stroke? Did we like go into another dimension or something back there?
It was weird. It's like the human body is, I mean, we had mentioned it before. It almost kind of seems like there's no rules, like what gets you and what don't get you.
Yeah,
Like,
well, it's like think about like all the people with like peanut allergies. Like,
oh yeah,
what kind of twisted fate is that? Like a fucking damn nut can take you out.
yeah, and nobody really has like a mild peanut allergy. Usually, like
No,
people with
yeah.
peanut allergies, it's like it's like being stalked by a person with a knife all the time. Like you just turn the corner and there's a peanut, and that's it, game over. But like, I was reading this thing the other day about a um a pilot who was like flying like a commercial airliner, and the front window of the cockpit popped off, and he got sucked out of the plane. But
Holy shit.
yes, I mean they're like in the middle of it, like a commercial flight, so they're like 30,000 feet in the air,
Yeah.
going whatever speed they're going, and he gets sucked out, but his knees got caught on the control panel, so like the top half of his body is hanging out of this airplane.
I just imagine him like looking like one of those inflatable arm flailing tube men.
one of the male stewards had to like run in there and like hold on to the guy's legs so that he wouldn't go get sucked the rest of the way out.
Holy shit.
And on top of that, because of the change in pressure inside the cockpit, it sucked the door off of the door, like from like the main, I guess, fuselage into the cockpit.
Yeah.
It sucked the door off the hinges and jammed the throttle, so they were accelerating the entire time.
Like what shit luck, man.
Yeah, like that's like divine intervention, like right, because like that's just not luck. Something or some cosmic force was trying to take that guy out.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, how many times do we have to defy the laws of physics that something happens like that? And
Yeah.
we don't go, surprising it doesn't happen more.
Yeah. But
Like you're flirting with death up there is what you're doing.
yeah, exactly.
It's like you're playing Nana Nana Boo Boo with the Grim Reaper. Thumb in your nose at death.
Yeah, eventually it's gonna get you. Keep fucking
It's like
with
I'm
it.
flying around in this metal tube. It's like can we just assume that this is just like a normal thing for us to do?
Yeah, the veil between life and death is very thin when you're in an airplane.
It's like you imagine taking like some of our like early ancestors, like the early ancestors, and like stick them in this tube and fly them through the sky. They'd have a damn heart attack.
It's like, but that guy, like, so the pilot that got sucked out of the airplane, like you would think like he would have suffocated, right, or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a true story. If you Google it, you'll see pictures, but the pictures that you see are from a recreation, so it's not real pictures of the incident. But they managed to land the plane, and yeah, I'm pretty sure he had like a bruised like rib or something like that. But the stewardess or male steward, whatever, that was holding the guy, he ended up getting frostbite.
Really?
Like on his hands, because I guess
Yeah, it's like negative 40 degrees up there.
Yeah, the temperature is extremely low. So it's like, but how did he get frostbite? And the dude hanging outside of the fucking plane did not. I don't know. Shit's crazy.
Yeah, it's just like you used up all of your luck. You have none left.
You think that guy went into work when he got back from the hospital? I feel like I would quit. I feel like that'd be my last day flying.
I certainly wouldn't be flying for that airline anymore. That's for certain. Like if I went to go interview with another airline, I'd be like, "So, what's your window situation up front?
Yeah.
Like, how often are we doing maintenance on that?"
Oh yeah, it's the reason that the window popped off is because the dude that was doing maintenance on the aircraft, he kind of just like he pulled the bolt out of the windows. Like there was 5 bolts and he pulled them out of the windows. And I think he like dropped a couple of them and couldn't find them. So he just went over to his toolbox and looked for bolts the same size.
Holy shit. Oh no. Oh no.
I mean, that's all it takes, right? Is one lazy person and then the whole operation just goes south. Like one dude
that just goes to shit. We're not supposed to be up there.
One dude just trying to go to lunch so he can go down to Blimpie, and that's it. That's your fucking life right there. Because he couldn't be asked to find those fucking bolts for the window.
It's like, dude, just go to fucking supply and get more bolts. Like they know which ones you need.
Unfucking real. That's all it takes.
It doesn't take much. I mean, if you think about it, like it doesn't take much to kill us. I mean, we're just kind of like a bag of soup walking around.
Very true. It's like that guy.
We're not very resilient. That's for certain.
Do you see that video of that guy that was walking through the woods and he came up on that brown bear? And when the video starts, the bear's walking away from him and he's walking towards the bear like a fucking idiot. And then he takes it a step further and he kicks the bear in the ass.
Oh God.
The bear turns around and like you can just see the bear's kind of like, I know this motherfucker did not just kick me in my ass. And the bear just like, whoa, and like just attacks him. And I think the guy managed to get away with like some scrapes and bruises or whatever. But like, what? And what? Did he not know what a bear was? Like,
yeah, it's like, what? How do you think this ends?
the dude, the fucking thing has knives for feet, essentially. Like, all it takes is one good clean swipe, and that's it.
Yeah, it's like that thing weighs like 7 times your body weight. It's like
and
5 times faster than you. Like, what do you think's going to happen?
And one good clean swipe is not what people usually get when they get attacked by bears. Usually he just eats your guts while you're alive.
Yeah, you get mauled. you get bludgeoned with a ball. And then they maul you while you're on the ground.
It's like, have you ever seen the Revenant?
Oh yeah, that's a I remember when I watched that scene, I was like, oh my God, it's almost as realistic as you could probably get.
Yeah, it's when you get it, so in Red Dead Redemption 2, if you get attacked by a grizzly bear in that game, I'm pretty sure they they animated it to be like that scene in that movie. So it's like this really long, drawn out, very brutal death.
I mean, I think people have like a misunderstanding of like what bears are.
Yeah. Apex predator.
Yeah, it's the apex predator of Northern America. Like you know how like lions are apex predators in Africa?
Yeah.
Like the bears are the same thing.
It's like it's like people will compare like bears to chimpanzees because of the way the chimpanzees attack and kill things.
Yeah.
But if you ever like read up about chimpanzees or like the shit that like chimpanzee troops will do, it's like they're intelligent enough that what they do,
the cruelty of it,
yeah, can be considered evil.
Yeah, exactly.
like the only 2 animals alive that are capable of evil are human beings and chimpanzees.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? That one lady that like had her face fucking ripped off by a chimp.
Yeah, that was she it was like her pet or something like that. No,
What?
I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure the lady that got her face ripped off was visiting the person who owned the chimp.
Yeah, that's right.
And the thing like broke into her car or some shit while she was sitting in the driveway and attacked her. I'm pretty sure that's how that went down.
That's
And
so
but
fucking crazy.
and
Like who?
the police responded and the cop showed up and he had to shoot the chimp. Now imagine you're a police officer and you're sitting under the overpass trying to catch some speeder and you get a call. Dispatch gives you a call about a chimp attack. There's no way you woke up that morning thinking like I'm going to have to shoot a chimpanzee today.
Yeah, like okay, so I found the article in the New York Post. It says out of control pet chimp shot dead by Oregon deputy.
God, that
Yeah,
chimp
like
fucked
they
that
don't
lady
prepare
up.
you for that. Oh, they got a video of it. Oh,
A video of what? The shooting?
yeah. You want to see it?
Yeah, I absolutely want to see that. Is it? Wait, I'm sure it's a video of the shooting, right? Not of like the lady getting mauled
No,
by
no,
the
it's a
chimp.
video of the shooting.
Yeah, that fucking chimp like bit her fingers off and ripped her face off, and I'm pretty sure it like left her like that. Like, so it didn't even kill her. It just wanted to inflict pain. That's
Can you see
something
it
that
now?
yeah, that's something that an evil being would do.
Yeah, it's like they know not to just go for the kill shot, right?
Yeah, they're just trying to maul and cause harm. Wait, is that the
Is
chimp
is
walking
that it
around in
right
there?
there? That's fucking huge.
That's a big motherfucking chimp.
I mean, okay. I mean, I thought that he had been. This is out of control, but I mean, I don't. Well, we also
Yeah,
don't have the sound on, so
he shot it through a fence with a rifle. I was thinking he like came to the house and the chimp was like making demands.
he's like, "I want a helicopter. Get me the fuck out of here." It'd be crazy if he like. It'd be crazy if he like grabbed the helicopter pilot, threw him out of it, and just flew it away.
Yeah, it's a fucking SWAT standoff with a chimpanzee. It's like I definitely think a chimpanzee is smart enough to learn how to use a gun.
Okay, so it says Tamara Brigatti told Umatilla County Sheriff's Office that Buck, the chimpanzee, bit her daughter in the torso, arms, legs, forcing the injured woman to lock herself in a basement bedroom.
I think this is a different incident, Wes.
Well, how many times has this happened?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think it was a woman's daughter who got attacked. I'm fairly certain that it was a person's friend. Well, they outlawed owning chimpanzees in 2010.
Yeah.
So before that,
So, well, apparently this has happened more than once.
yeah. So does that say something about chimps altogether that this has happened more than once?
Yeah, like you think it's a good idea to own one of these things? I mean, it's like I was watching a documentary one time and it had chimps in it. And like there's like these two like tribes or whatever it was. And this one chimp like was walking through the woods and I guess he like crossed over into their territory. So like all the chimp, like almost all of the chimps from like this tribe jumped down and like was like beating the fuck out of this chimp. They ripped his balls off and ate them. Ripped his balls off and ate them in front of him.
Yeah. See, like a normal animal would either just kill or eat the other thing for sustenance. The chimp ripped his balls off and ate it in front of him to prove a point, right?
Yeah.
That's that kind of level of cruelty is indicative of intelligence, I would say.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of different ways to show intelligence, but it also goes to show you that like with intelligence also comes evil intentions. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's like
It'd be like any other animal. Like it's like okay, so like dolphins. Most of the time, like we assume dolphins are pretty intelligent. Like we think they're fairly smart. It's like, but have you seen like their mating rituals and how they do that?
well, I know that dolphins rape people.
Dolphins like essentially rape other dolphins, and that's
Yeah.
essentially like the mating that they do is rape.
Well, ducks do the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, most animals do the same thing when you think about it. It's like you see, like when they do like the National Geographic thing, and it's like a lion, like it's like bite another lion on the back of the neck, and they're like fight one another.
Yeah. Well, I mean that a lot of that's got to do with the fact that cats have barbed penises. So
Didn't know that.
it's not an enjoyable experience for the female cat.
Like a morning star.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but so the chimps, I know a documentary you're talking about. You can find it on YouTube. It's like or you can find like a good portion of it. They basically drew and quartered that chimp. Like they tortured it to death. And like, so they rip his balls off and eat it. So like if a dog ate somebody's balls off, that would be because that's just where the dog happened to bite. He didn't, didn't think, he didn't preemptively think I'm going to eat this motherfucker's balls. Just
Yeah. Well, it's like no other, like you don't see like male lions fighting one another and like one of them like rips the other one's balls off. Like, I don't think that's like, they're like trying to take like the faces and stuff. Like, imagine if one was smart enough to just start ripping balls off.
Yeah. Then the only ones that survived would be the ones that knew to go for the balls.
Yeah.
And then lions would be way worse than they already are.
I mean, it's kind of funny. It's funny when you think about it though, because it's like even like in a fight between like dudes, like there's like this unwritten rule. It's like no nut shots.
Yeah, like no matter like how brutal the street fight is, like they're curb stomping each other in the head and stuff. Nobody goes for the balls.
It's a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, let's bring in the podcast right quick, and then we can get back to monkey balls.
Right. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to episode, what is this, 17?
This is 17.
Yeah, episode 17 of the Thicc Bois podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Wesley Wright, and my brother, Gary Wright.
Hello, everyone.
And we're glad that you've joined us again. I think we're doing a little bit better job of getting some content out.
Yeah, I think doing these, remote ones, was kind of the way to go instead of just kind of waiting for our schedules to line up. Whenever we happen to have time or you happen to be in town. Where are you at now? Are you still in Oklahoma?
No, I'm in Pennsylvania right now. So I'm actually out near Hershey, Pennsylvania, in like Gettysburg.
I remember Hershey, Pennsylvania. We went to the Hershey's factory. Is that right?
We went to the factory that was there, and also I think too they had a theme park.
Yeah, I know they have a theme park. I don't remember much about the theme park, but I think I had like this one false memory of being in the Hershey's factory where we were up on like some catwalks walking around above a bunch of giant vats of boiling chocolate.
Like some like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, like something you'd see in a cartoon. I know that's not right, but like that's how my brain remembers it. And then I remember
I don't think that happened.
I don't think it did either, but I've always had that memory. And then I remember that we had these like coin purses. Do you remember those things? They're like those little rubber coin purses.
I had a green coin purse that said Hershey on it.
I think mine was like a Reese's variety. And I don't think I ever put any coins in it. I think I just chewed the thing.
I think I put like a couple of coins in it, and then I was like, this is stupid. Like, why do I have this? Like, this makes no sense.
I want my coins now, not later. I'll have to dig them out of this rubber pussy later.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, because it had like these two nipples on each end, and it split apart in the middle.
Yeah, it definitely looked like labia.
Yeah, and I remember too because the coins would get stuck in there because there wasn't a whole lot of room. So like those metal coins would be mushed against those rubber sides. And I was like, man, this thing's a piece of shit. Like,
It didn't come out easily because it's metal on rubber. There's a lot of friction there. I was like, hang on, I gotta finger the coins out of this thing before I can pay for my ice cream cone here. I also remember that they gave us like these giant Hershey's Kisses. They were like the size of like a softball. You remember that?
I do remember that.
I remember it took me a long time to eat mine, like several months. But Aaron, when Aaron was a little kid, he loved chocolate. Like,
Oh yeah, he certainly did.
he could fuck up some chocolate, and he ate that thing in a day. And he got so fucking sick. I just had this memory of him just like with this 1,000-yard stare and just chocolate all over his face.
It's like what's that movie with the lip nickies where like that kid eats all his popsicles and he's like laying there on the ground.
Oh, he goes into a sugar coma.
Yeah. Yeah, that was certainly Aaron.
Yeah.
The thing I remember about that trip that we took was, I remember a couple of things. The first thing I remember was mom like swinging this like metal door open, and I had on like flip flops, and it ripped my big toenail off.
Oh God. Oh, dude, toenails and fingernails. I can't, man. Like it. Look, I would sell out my fucking family if you threatened me with my toenails or fingernails. I'd tell you anything you wanted to know.
Like, was it the Vietnamese used to do that? They'd like take bamboo shoots and like stick them like underneath people's fingernails and shit.
I'd throw this whole fucking country under the bus. You're not touching my nails.
Like, I'll tell you anything you want. I'll make stuff up.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's like I nails freak me out so much. Like when I cut my thumb off, my biggest concern was that my nail was going to be all fucked up and I was going to have to like look at it and deal with that. And like a day or two after, while that whole thing would happen, I was recovering and we were at home and me and Mary were watching a movie and I think it was called The Wilderness or The Wild or something like that with Reese Witherspoon where she's a hiker. And the very first fucking scene in that movie, no context whatsoever. She sits down, she takes her hiking boot off, pulls her sock off and pulls her big toenail off.
You.
And it's just, I'm like, that's the worst thing I could have ever seen.
I think one of the worst ones I've seen in a movie. Have you ever seen Castaway with Tom Hanks?
Oh yeah,
the part where he uses that ice skate to remove that abscess tooth that was rotting in his head.
Yeah, that was
like the way that he portrayed that scene. Like I felt it when he did it.
Yeah. He just stuck that blade in his mouth and hit the other end with a coconut or something.
Yeah, and he was like screaming before he got ready to do it.
Yeah. Imagine if he didn't hit it good enough the first time. Had to go in for round two.
Man, that's I can't do teeth. Like
I don't know if teeth bother me all that much. I just something about fingernails and toenails and like fingertips and shit like that. Like I remember this one time I had a hangnail and I tried to bite it off and it didn't come off. It just went further up my finger.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
It made me feel sick to my stomach. It's like
to see that skin peel back.
Yeah.
Like,
fucking flaying myself. Oh God.
I think that would have been one of the worst ways to go. Like when was it like the Indians used to like scalp people? Is that okay to say now? Like, is that?
I would, just to be safe, I would say Native Americans.
Well, I mean, the fact, are we saying that they didn't do it now, or like?
No, I mean it's historically accurate that they did do that.
So I guess Native Americans, like that would have been one of the worst ways to go, like being scalped.
It's because you can live a long time without a scalp. And they would scalp you in such a way that, so like if you cut somebody's scalp off, like say you started right on the forehead and you went around, their face would fall down. Like think of like a shirt sleeve not being held up. It just falls down your arm.
Yeah, there's like nothing holding that skin.
There's nothing holding the skin up. So what they do is they would cut it like in a circle on the top of your head. That way it still had enough skin to like retain your face, but your face would still sag.
Mm.
And they would just scalp you and then they'd send you about your way.
Mm.
And then they used to bury people up to their necks in like anthills and shit.
Yeah, they did some pretty fucking evil shit.
I mean, humans and humans all throughout history.
All humans have done evil shit. I mean, honestly, it's pretty surprising that nowadays, like, people don't realize that how throughout history how much evil shit happened.
Yeah,
it's just like the value of life was like nothing. Like nobody gave a fuck.
It's like during like the medieval period, they were just like, it's like they were just bored and they're just coming up with what's the most horrific way that we can murder somebody. Like what was it called? The Spanish donkey. That thing. It was like
that one.
It was just like a wooden. Imagine like an elongated wooden pyramid, and they would sit you on top of that thing with your legs over each side, and they would slowly add weights to your ankles until it split you in half from the bottom up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this thing.
Spanish donkey or wooden horse. Oh, images are just of donkeys.
Just of donkeys.
Horrifying.
I guess I should probably be more specific. Spanish donkey torture
device.
Torturing. There we go. Torturing device. Yowza.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
That looks fucking awful.
And that's like not even one of the worst ones. I mean, they used to like hang people upside down and like get two dudes with like a saw and just start sawing. There's the picture of it right there. I mean, you look at that. Look how fucking ridiculous that is. What are those two dudes standing there at either end of that saw thinking, like, yeah, this guy totally deserves this?
Oi, you said some bad stuff about the Queen.
What did you say about the Queen? I hope
you fucking wanker.
You fucking wanker. I hope you don't like being old. Wait, go down, scroll down. Do you see that thing that looks like a pear?
This thing here?
Yeah, they used to take that thing and they would stick it in people's mouths, or your ass, or if you're a woman in your vagina, and they would turn the key on the end until those four arms spread open.
Just like any orifice.
Anywhere it would fit, yeah. And they would just keep the knee splitter.
The knee splitter. The Spanish Inquisition was a popular time when a lot of torture devices were used. The knee splitter was a wooden frame that had a number of spikes and a vice-like contraption. The spikes were placed in front and behind the knee. Once the legs were in place, the torturer would crank the spikes down on the leg until they pierced the skin and splintered, crushed and eviscerated the bone and soft tissue.
And they just did this shit to people day in and day out.
Yeah, it's like, I gotta go to my job at the fucking torture dungeon today.
Yeah.
God,
another day at the office.
What is this? The Judas cradle.
That looks like it goes up your butt.
In his bum.
Yeah.
The device had victims sit atop a large wooden pyramid shaped like a tower. The end of the pyramid would be inserted into the anus or vagina, and the victim was slowly lowered until the end penetrated through the intended orifice. This would cause internal damage, ripping apart tissue and muscle, leaving the victim to die of infection or impalement. Good God.
One of the worst things about impalement, like when they killed people via impalement, is that you didn't bleed out because there was nowhere for the blood to go. It just stayed in your body. So you had this big, wooden spike going through you from your ass out your mouth, and you would live for a long time that way.
They've got a lot. Wow. Like, look at this one. The heretic's fork. Eesh.
There's our friend, the Spanish donkey.
Yeah. Okay, here's the one you're talking about, the pair of anguish. This device seems to be the precursor of the alien anal probe. Oh, nice. It had a smooth, bulbous end, which, why is that word so weird?
Bulbous.
Every time I see the word bulbous, I always think of Bulbasaur.
I just think it's somebody with a bunch of like boils all over him.
Yeah. Okay. So it had a smooth, bulbous end, which was inserted into the anus, vagina, or mouth. It was then cranked in order to bloom the pair inside the body, where sharp edges and metal petals would rupture the delicate insides of the human anatomy. Yikes.
You gotta hand it to them. I mean, they got creative.
Wow. Okay, so this one, I guess we're going down this today, everybody. The Scavenger's Daughter. During the reign of Henry VIII, the Scavenger's Daughter was a popular torment. A large metal hoop was used to encase the victim at the knees and back. Slowly, the device was tightened in order to squeeze the person until blood flowed from the mouth, nose, and other orifices.
So they juiced you.
Good God. Like, people were just like, what the fuck are you? Oh, the Iron Maiden. Everybody knows what that is. There it is. The Saul.
At least you know what? I mean, at least they go perpendicular to your body, right?
Wow. Well, they did a lot of crazy shit back then. What's that one that they used to use like in ancient Rome where they would like cook you inside that bull?
I was just about to say, I think it was called the Brazen Bull. It was like a big iron bull, and they would stick you inside of it, and then they would light a fire underneath it, and it would cook you alive. And there was even like some engineering at play there, because the screams of the person inside the bull would travel through pipes that came out of the bull's mouth, and it made it sound like a bull was making the sounds.
That's so fucking nuts, dude. It's just like people that like created that shit. Like, I hope they died the most horrific death.
Yeah, like if there is,
and I know they probably didn't.
Yeah, they probably were in a nice warm bed and slipped away peacefully in the night, while somebody had some kind of device stuck up their ass that made them explode.
He's just like dying. He's like hearing people screaming in the background. He's like, I guess my work here is complete.
He's just like, my legacy.
It's just amazing, like the amount of effort and time that people put into torturing other people. Like,
well, a lot of those ones that we just looked at were during the Spanish Inquisition. And that was where they would just go around and be like, surprise, we're here to see if you guys are Christian. Oh, wait, you're not? Bring out the fuckulator.
Yeah. Bring out the heretics fork, or bring out the scavengers, whatever it is. Like, we're about to juice some people.
It's like, even when they burned like witches at the stake, they would set up the fire and the pylon in such a way that the smoke would travel away from the victim, and they had no chance of dying of smoke inhalation. So they made sure that
you were roasted.
Roasted.
That's what killed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole time, like the whole like Salem witch trial time, like that's such a strange time. What an odd period in, like, especially in US history.
Yeah.
And like it just kind of happened. You know what I mean? And then it just kind of went away.
Yeah, and they used to like they would like tie stones to their feet and throw them out in the water to see if they were a witch. And if they drowned, they weren't a witch. And if they lived, they were a witch, and they killed them.
Yeah. Like what? It's like, well, I guess they weren't a witch. Nah, our bad.
Well, everybody go home and eat your oats.
Yeah. It was like, Do you imagine like the one time that they came up and everybody was like, oh fuck.
Especially if she came up like cackling.
Yeah. What was it? There was like one movie that it was supposed to be like a really good one. And like this is always shifting gears here. This is always my like kind of gripe with horror movies. Is there was like a horror movie that came out. It was called The Witch. Do you remember that? It's supposed to be
No.
during like the early 1800s.
Mm-mm.
And it's about this family. They were like not homesteaders. That's not because everybody was a fucking homesteader back then. But they were they had moved out into like the countryside, and they were had like a build a house and were like doing all these crops and everything. And like they started like experiencing like all this paranormal activity and everything, and like all of a sudden the baby goes missing, and like they're like hallucinating, like seeing like this witch like off in the distance or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the movie is really interesting, like up until that point. And then like at the end of it, there's like this weird scene, like spoiler alert for anybody, turn this off if you don't want to hear it. But there's like this weird scene at the end where they're just like dancing around like a fire, and like the youngest or like the oldest girl like ends up like being a witch or whatever. And then all of a sudden they're dancing, and then they're like floating in the air dancing. Like what
Like
did
really,
you
really bad CGI dancing.
yeah, like really bad like CGI. I'm like, did you have to do that? Was
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like it
yeah,
seems like
I know what you mean. Because yeah, in horror movies like that, it's better. Like the horror is always better when it's implied rather than shown.
no.
Like if you show them like actually doing like witch things, like flying around on a broom, that's just fucking stupid.
Yeah. Cause like it's like it's fake. You know what I mean? Like at the movies, it's like I want to be brought into like a situation where like I'm believing what it is that you're showing me. But like as soon as like you show me some really bad CGI, even like if you show really good CGI, I was like, meh.
Well, I mean, the tone has to be consistent throughout the entire thing. So it's like, Nightmare on Elm Street's a good horror movie because the tone is consistent throughout the entire movie. It's this supernatural thing that's happening that ordinary people are reacting to in a way that ordinary people would react to it.
Yeah.
Like, that's why it works.
Nightmare on Elm Street is just a fucking 2.5 hour fucking panic attack.
Yeah.
Like,
isn't that one of the first movies that
Johnny Depp
was in?
Yeah, that was one of the first movies that he was in.
Is he the one that gets sucked down into the bed and gets shot back out?
Yeah, that was a fucking crazy scene.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw that, and I was older. I was like 16 or 17 when I saw that movie. So it was an old movie at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I saw that and I was like, holy fuck. I was like, back then that would have been fucking bizarre, like when that first came out.
Yeah. Now it's just kind of like you're just kind of like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But back then you're just like, Jesus Christ.
You know what movie isn't ridiculous?
What's
If you
that?
go back and watch it, The Exorcist.
I don't think I've ever seen The Exorcist.
There's nothing about that movie that like still does not hold up.
Yeah.
Like because they did it in such a way to where they were just using the people to like they were just using there was like really no effects, like there was like lighting effects and that kind of stuff, and of course like the music and everything. But it's like back then like they didn't have access to CGI and all this stuff, so they had to rely on like the makeup people and the acting from the actors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like they really had to portray that sense of like dread.
Yeah, when when those movies rely heavily on just the raw emotion, those are usually the ones that connect the most, the ones that end up being timeless. Because emotion's timeless. Like if your horror movie is relying a lot on CGI and stuff, like eventually that's going to be dated.
Yeah.
Your special effects are going to be dated after a while. But people are always going to be afraid of like the paranormal and things like that. I think that's why, when I first watched Paranormal Activity, I thought it was really good because it, aside from the jump scare at the end, I thought that was kind of lame. But everything up into that was like everybody's kind of had that experience with like things that go bump in the night, right?
Yeah.
like spooky things that happen. And so it was like the people in the movie weren't trying to be heroes about anything. They were just, it was happening to them and they were reacting to it. And that holds true for how people are.
Exactly. It's like, well, yeah, it was they relied on the actors to portray that sense. You know what I mean? Like, of course, they use like some things here or there, and I think one of the reasons why that movie was so impressive was just the low budget that they were working with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think that they had a very large budget at all. I
I
think
think,
it was like in the tens of thousands.
yeah, it couldn't have been much. I mean, it was like that found footage style of movie, like that Blair Witch Project kind of kicked all that off.
Yeah, I remember when Blair Witch Project came out, and I remember how big of like a like how big it was. You know what I mean? Like how many people talked about it. Yeah. So it says the budget for the production was $15,000.
Post production is 2,215. That must be like advertising and editing and stuff.
Yeah. And then at the box office, they made 1.93.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So their return,
their return is insane.
Yeah.
What? I'm trying to think. I was trying to do some quick math and say what percentage of return that would be. But that's absolutely unheard of. It's kind of funny when you see that, and then you see these movies that have like $1 million budgets and they make like, a good 450K.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's way more impressive.
Like Adam Sandler has a couple of films like that. Like that one where you're supposed to have a twin.
Oh, is it like the one where it's like him and like that woman or whatever?
It's like called Fun with Jack and Jill or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So getting back to what you were talking about. So if you take into consideration even the post production at $215,000,
yeah,
their return at the box office is about as close as you can get to 100%.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even register at a tenth of a percent or 1/100th of a percent.
Multiply that number by 100. Yeah, so their production cost was 11% of what they. No, I'm sorry, 0.11% of what they made.
And that's post production. That's
after advertising, posters, editing, all that shit. That's fucking insane.
That's bananas.
There's no way they could have known that it was gonna make that much fucking money. Yeah.
There's especially when they first started, there's no way they knew. I think probably once they probably got all the editing and everything done, they were like, like I think we really got something here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there was a point it's during all that, maybe especially during editing or when they watched like the final cut before they'd send it out, they're like, okay, this is at the very least this is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I remember so many people went to go watch it. It was a big movie.
But yeah, we watched it in Gatlinburg.
Yeah, that's right. Because I think that was the second time I had seen that movie.
The movie fucked me. I didn't sleep good for a long time after that.
Yeah, it's always best like when you have a movie, especially with a horror movie, that's kind of low budget, so they kind of have to make you use your imagination. Those are always the best ones.
Oh yeah, the ones that draw on your imagination to kind of fill in the blanks. It's like what makes a good book a good book is your brain and your emotions are doing all the heavy lifting.
Well, it's like, well, only like what really scares you. You know,
right?
What I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like they're going to let you figure it out. Like they'll kind of point you in the right direction, but it's like, well, they'll lead you to the door and they'll open the door of shit that you don't want to think about.
Yeah. It's like, imagine if like at the end of the movie, it ended up being like a clown the entire time. That movie would then be extremely scary for people who are afraid of clowns.
Exactly.
But instead, because they never showed what it was, it's scary for everybody. Speaking of horror movies, we should talk about the recent controversy with the new Michael Myers movie that just came out.
What is it now?
The the Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Michael Myers. Is it okay? Wait a second. Is Michael Myers the killer, or is he Austin Powers?
Mike Myers is Austin Powers.
Okay, Michael Myers. When they had released the trailer for that movie, and there's a scene in the trailer where Michael Myers kills a firefighter.
Yeah,
and people, a firefighter community, got all up in arms about it, saying that it was sickening and disgusting, and they should remove that from the movie. And it was like, so all the other movies where he's killing everyone else, all that's all fine.
Yeah, where he like impels two teens or like fucking in a camper.
Yeah,
like,
that's
okay.
totally okay. But the moment he kills something that you identify
that's
with,
Jason. Wrong horror movie franchise.
Well, master murderer kills teenagers. They could be anybody. But it's like, yeah, the moment it lands on your doorstep, all of a sudden it's a problem.
It's just, yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, it's just what people like to be outraged. There's people looking for reasons to be outraged. Everybody's looking to make it about them.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's a movie. Get over it. It'll be all right.
Yeah, that's the big thing. It's a fucking movie.
Like, this isn't
right.
I bet their argument was that it's promoting violence against fucking firefighters and some crazy shit like that.
I feel like I did read that somewhere.
Oh God. Hey, shut up.
Like, you don't even believe that. You don't believe that.
Yeah. Like, what? It's like you're insulting my intelligence is what you're doing. Like,
you're so fucking full of shit.
Yeah. It's like, no, you're just using this fucking wordplay to try to drum up fucking support for whatever. It's like, I'm not saying that we shouldn't support firefighters, but just goddamn, dude, like, chill out.
Nobody is saying that we should all go around and kill firefighters with machetes. Nobody's saying that. The movie's not going to make me think that that's what I need to go do.
Yeah, it's like, we don't, like, this is a movie universe. Like, this is all make believe.
They should just double down and make the next one 100% about killing firefighters.
Oh yeah, I would. Absolutely.
Like Michael Myers, like, he starts fires, and then when they show up,
so now he's also an arsonist.
Yeah. They just add a level of horror to it.
All of a sudden, it's like all these firefighters like rush in and they're just disappearing left and right in these rooms.
I'd double down and I'd make the next one about killing firefighters, and then at the end I'd kill like a donut shop worker and get all the donut people mad. And the next one,
I'd see like Michael Myers, like, he's got the mask on, but he's also got like a firefighter suit on. And so, like, you see the mask behind like the thing.
Yeah, I can see it so clearly. Like, one guy's like, he's calling out for his firefighter friend inside of the smoke. And then Michael Myers just steps out slowly, and it's a fucking stupid mask back behind that visor.
Yeah, like, I don't understand why people do this thing where it's like they try to always make it about like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody just wants the attention. And there's a lot of power in being a victim these days. A quote unquote victim, I should say.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it is like there's a lot of value put into like victimhood or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, and the worst part about that is that it actually takes away from people who are victims of things that are horrific.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, if you actually did care about that thing that you're claiming to care about, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing, because you're taking, attention and support away from people who actually need it.
Absolutely. Well, it's sort of like everybody that's like, oh, like these like microaggressions and stuff is like, if I say like, thanks, man, and like I'm saying it to like a woman, like it can be taken like as a microaggression or something like that. Mm-hmm. I think that's how that works. I don't know. That's just me being me, stating facts that I don't understand. But
That's you being a privileged white male.
yeah, there you go. But it's like, you have the opportunity to either, brush it off and be like, whatever, like it is what it is. Like even if for some reason that upsets you or whatever, that most of the time when somebody says something like that, they're not thinking that kind of way. They're just like, hey man, like thanks for whatever. Like have a good day.
It's like an off the cuff kind of thing to say.
Yeah. I mean, I've, a lot of people that just say that kind of to whoever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, if you looked at her and you said, thanks, cunt.
Yeah. That
like,
was, that was a decision.
Yeah. Yeah. You were trying to be hurtful with that. Thank you, stupid bitch.
Yeah. But stuff like that, it takes away from people who are like victims of like victims are like domestic abuse and shit like that, like people who
people who have actual real problems.
Yeah, real kind of gripes and complaints because they've kind of been shit on by the system or whoever.
It's like, are you really going to put yourself in the same boat with a woman who is beaten by her husband because the dude sitting across from you on the train sat with his legs open?
Yeah.
Like you two, you think you're living the same life.
I don't know, man. The only thing that I can come up with is that I think that there's just like rampant mental health problems.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. Like rampant. Like we have a major problem with mental health or something.
No, I definitely agree. And I feel like, you see more of this group think where these people pat each other on the back and keep, affirming that what they're doing is the right thing to do. Right. And they stay inside this bubble of people who think like them and act like them. And they think that that's the standard. That's what they're supposed to be doing without realizing that what they're doing is detrimental to their mental health.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can see that in a lot of different things, right? So, I mean, you can.
Like there's a difference between support and enabling.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you shouldn't fucking enable like people to continue doing fucking crack. You know what I mean? It's like it's not. Some people say that like you just let them do whatever, and it's like I sort of do agree with that, but at the same time, it's like. But we're not trying to help this person. You know what I mean? Like if you're just enabling them to continue down this path, it's like you need to be able to help in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, you genuinely don't care about them if you're just letting them continue to do the whatever self-destructive thing it is they're doing.
Yeah,
that's like when people go to rehab for things. Most places will take away your contact with the outside world for like a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Even like with your friends, your family, everybody, because they don't know what in your life is enabling. And most people who have a problem or an addiction or something like that have an enabler.
Oh yeah. Well, it's very common to see somebody that has an addiction have somebody who is an enabler for that addiction.
Right. Yeah.
Very common.
Yeah. I've seen it in real life.
Yeah.
I can think of at least 2 or 3 instances that I'm, personally familiar with.
Oh yeah, me too. Definitely, some of them hit pretty close to home.
Yeah,
and you see stuff like that, and it makes you think. You wish that person would. I don't. It's hard to find the words for it because you see that person that's enabling them and they do it out of love for that person. But at the same time, there's also additional people that they're hurting when they're doing the enabling.
Mainly the person that they love.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I definitely get what you're saying.
But that's sort of like that's a very kind of selfish take on it. Like, like you're spending all this time with this person over here when, you could be over here with us because we don't put you through those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But it's also hard from a vantage point of seeing somebody that you really care about that spends a long period of time enabling people like that, and it really takes a toll on their health because you kind of see this person, the stress just eventually kind of gets them.
Well, yeah, and you also know that they aren't blind to the bad things that the person is doing.
Oh yeah, no, they know.
They know what's going on, but they're having to fight this battle between, accepting what that person is doing and also wanting to be a soft presence and a loving presence for that person. And there's a huge struggle there. Which way do you lean? And they're being pulled, in a bunch of different directions.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's important. You want to have empathy and compassion for people, but additionally, when you do that, you have to stress to that person that, I will continue to have empathy and compassion for you, but you have to exhibit some sort of self-discipline in order for that to be a reality for either one of us,
Yeah. Well, it's like, let's say you have a group of people, and, you see this a lot with overweight people, especially nowadays. When somebody tells an overweight person, you need to go on a diet and lose weight as genuine medical advice, not, hey, fatty, you need to go lose some weight. You're fat, being mean about it.
Yeah.
All the other fatties see that and they're like, they feel comfortable in their skin. You need to let them live their life and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, you think I'm the bad guy because I'm offering genuine, advice and I'm trying to help this person. You are the bad guy because you're enabling them. You're helping them kill themselves.
Yeah.
And it's hard to make people see that.
You have to be aware that anything that you do has a consequence. It's you have good consequences and bad consequences. Everything that you do has a consequence.
Yeah.
It's like, so a lot of people, and I think a lot of it is sort of like out of not wanting to address the problem. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people that end up getting to that situation or whatever, people put a lot of weight, like myself, it's like, well, is it stress related? What's kind of going on here? Because it's not just, I don't think, like a love of food. I mean, obviously that's a lot of it, but some of it, there's some other stuff there. Like you have to kind of dig a little bit deeper rather than just being like, I just love food. Well, I love food too, but a lot of eating is stress related and all that kind of shit. Or like you're running late, you just grab a fucking faux from the Wendy's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a huge thing of it is stress, because if you say you spend all day long being stressed out, especially about work, and you get home, what are you going to do when you get home? You're just going to want to sit there and just be sedentary and not do anything.
Yeah.
And, if you keep snacks and stuff in the house, that's just going to make it even worse. And then you got people who turn to alcohol. What do they do when they get home when they're stressed out? They just want to drink it all away.
Yeah.
So stress is a big part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I mean, those are easy fixes to the problem, right? Rather than, trying to address what the issue is.
Like 100% of my problem, like the reason I gained so much weight was because I, lived a very sedentary lifestyle, especially the job that I worked before. Well, it was kind of the same job, but for a different company. I sat at a desk for 9 hours every single day. And, I would usually work through my lunch. And there were days where I would come in at 7:00 in the morning and I would sit down and I would not get up until 4. And I'm just sitting there all day long, and I'd get home so stressed out from, all the shit that I was, all the deadlines and shit I had at work. And I would get home and I would just sit on the couch. So most of my waking life was spent sitting down and not,
Yeah,
not
you weren't
even
moving around a whole lot.
not moving. So it's like, recently, I I've started, I started going back to the gym about 4 or 5 months ago, and I've lost 30 pounds, and I've gained, noticeable muscle mass. And, I find myself, almost kind of torn in two directions every single day. So like I try to go to the gym every day, and I'm usually pretty good about it. But there's always this little voice that's like, you did good yesterday. Why don't you take today off? Just, take a day off. Don't worry about it. It's like, I know that if I listen to that voice and I do take a day off because I think I did a good job, then the next day I'll be more inclined to listen to that voice.
Oh yeah, I think that happens with everybody, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and it's hard too. It's because like kind of once you get into a groove of, or like a, a habit of going to the gym or like working out, doing whatever. I think once you kind of take that day or whatever, like something weird happens in your brain where it's like, well, I missed that one, so it's not really
Might as
that
well
big
miss
of a
this
deal.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's also, I'm trying to turn back the clock on 29 years of neglect. So, like I said, I've been doing this for about 5 or 6 months now, 4 or 5 months, whatever it is. I think it's actually been closer to 5 months because I started in June. But I've only been doing it for not even a half a year, and 29 years of the other life is what got me to where I am. So It's going to take a long time to undo everything and try and move into a new standard. And it's not going to be easy. I'm very well aware of that. And it hasn't been easy. It's been a lot of hard work. But I kind of made the decision myself one day. I was like, I gotta do better, because right now, I'm still young, I'm still relatively healthy, but it's like I'm 29, so that the clock's ticking. And it's like, I plan to have children, probably pretty soon, and I want to make sure that I'm around for my kid, growing up.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mommy, why did Dad die? Well, Dad, ate
He
McDonald's.
ate himself into a stupor.
He just ate himself to death, and he never moved. And when you know it, it got him.
Yeah, I mean it's really hard. I will say that, as being formerly somebody who was in shape, that once you get to a certain point, it does kind of get easier to kind of maintain it.
Yeah.
Especially like, once you start seeing some physical changes and stuff, like you're like, oh, okay, well, like that's nice. Well, I want to go a little bit further. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of the big thing with me is I personally, I can't see any changes, but a lot of people have told me that they see changes.
You'll eventually get to a point one day where you'll see it. Like like you'll wake up one morning or whatever and kind of like look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh, like that's what I look like now. Like that's a lot better.
I'm seeing the number go down. So I'm like, okay, I know something's happening.
Yeah.
Something somewhere is happening.
Like this isn't all in vain. Like show me the data.
Yeah. Yeah.
Follow the science.
The one thing that I have noticed on myself is I have had noticeable muscle mass increase. Like when I started going back to the gym, because I've kind of gone to the gym like sporadically my whole life. I think this is the longest I've ever kept it going. When I started going back, I was doing 15 pounds on bicep curls with the dumbbell, and now I'm doing 55 pounds.
Nice.
So
yeah, so you can also see it in like your strength gains.
Yeah. So I'm definitely a lot further than where I was, but I know that I have a long, long, long way to go. Like I said, 29 years of shitty decisions I'm trying to undo.
Yeah, that's what I need to get back in there. I need to get back in the gym.
You
It's
have a home
something
gym, don't you?
I do have a home gym and I don't use it as much as I should.
Well, you're also like never home.
Yeah, I'm also never home too. So that also, yeah, I do pretty good when I'm at home, but like once I get out on the road, like it turns to a fucking shit show. Like,
Yeah, that's another one of my problems was, it's during the day, like because my current job, I drive around a lot. So I'm constantly going past, Quick Trip and Racetrack and McDonald's and Wendy's. And, it's so easy just to swing by one of those places and get like the worst fucking food for you that you could ever eat.
yeah,
Like, and on top of that, on top of it being bad for you, at the end of the week, suddenly you spent $60 on lunch that week.
exactly. Yeah, it adds up, man.
Yeah, $60 a week ends up being $240 a month.
Yeah. That you spent in fucking fast food that you stuffed in your fucking gullet.
Yeah. Like I spent, I have a budget of $240, $240 a week for diarrhea. What kind of sense does that make?
It's like I haven't had like a solid shit in years. Like, I'm starting to wonder if it's colon cancer.
Yeah. But, on the flip side of that is, eating healthy is also really expensive.
That's very true.
Like fresh vegetables and things like that, like produce is expensive, especially nowadays.
Yeah, I remember the one thing that helped me is we got a rice cooker and we used to eat a lot of brown rice,
Yeah.
which brown rice tastes like shit. It doesn't taste like much, but you stick some soy sauce on it and it ain't too bad. So
Yeah. You just load it up with sodium.
yeah,
It's good to go.
because well, the sodium in and of itself wasn't calories, at least like how I was looking at it.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm going to eat, semi-healthy broccoli, some brown rice, and like some like a steak or something like that. Like the other day I made some hamburger steaks and we ate sweet potato and some broccoli, which I mean it's fairly healthy. I wouldn't say that's too bad of a dinner. It didn't taste like much, but
Did you do a 70-30 lean?
no, I did. I got like the really nice hamburger meat. It was like the Angus
Yeah.
hamburger meat, and I think it was like 93.7. So it was pretty. It was pretty lean. But just stuff like that. But if I do that, like in order for me to, and I know this because I've had to do this a couple times, is in order for me to like kickstart myself in like eating healthy, I have to like overeat health. I have to like overeat healthy food.
Yeah.
Like I have to like anytime like I get a little bit hungry, just like shove some like sweet potato or like some broccoli in my mouth or like some chicken or some tuna or something like that.
Yeah.
And like just constantly just feeding myself all day long, just stuff that I know is either high in protein or, drink water, drink as much water as you can throughout the day.
Yeah.
And that might also be just me being like a fucking psychopath when it came to that kind of stuff. So,
well, water is a big thing that helps me. Like, especially during the day, like if I get like hunger pangs or something like that, it's not lunchtime yet. Or if I'm on my way home from work and I'm like, I could just swing by Wendy's on the way home. I'll just reach into my cooler that I have in my truck. And I just pound a bottle of water. Just put something on your stomach to make your body think that you gave it what it wanted.
yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Since I've been out on the road, that's sort of kind of what I've been trying to do, especially like in the morning. I'm not much of a breakfast person. So like I can really just kind of get a coffee and like a big bottle of water and I'm kind of good until and I'm not really one much for lunch. Like where I get fucked up is during dinner time.
Yeah.
Like that's when I eat like shit.
You eat 2,400 calories and then go to bed.
Yeah. Cause especially too, like at home and stuff, like I could go all day without eating anything. And then like once nighttime rolls around, like I'm super hungry for dinner.
Yeah.
Like, I'll
because
miss
you
lunch.
didn't eat anything all day.
Yeah. I'll miss lunch, just go right through it, not think about it. Be like, man, I don't want to even take the time to go up there and make myself something. I'm really not even that hungry. And then during dinner time, then it's like, oh, now I'm going to fucking overeat. So,
yeah, I've, I kind of had this realization one day where I was like, I haven't eaten a fruit or a vegetable in probably a couple of years.
It's all been like gravy and fucking eggs and butter.
Yeah. So I was like, I got to make a change here. So I eat one, I eat now I eat a bowl of protein oatmeal and a banana and in the morning, plus a protein bar, because I'm trying to hit 100 grams of protein a day. Because I'm at a caloric deficit, I need to supplement a lot of my calories with just straight protein. To that way all the lifting that I'm doing isn't all for nothing.
Yeah. Well, you need to, in order for your body to build that muscle, it needs the protein in order to do it.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm just wasting my fucking time.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, and I didn't realize how hard 100 grams of protein a day is.
Oh yeah, it's hard to get down.
I'm like, God Almighty, there's like no protein in anything. Like I have to eat a lot of shit to get this protein. So I got these this high protein oatmeal that's only 10 grams. I'm like, fuck, like that's a tenth of the way there. And that was a lot of oatmeal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can like supplement that with like some peanut butter or something like that. There's a little bit of extra, some fats and stuff like that. They're in there. They're good for you. And then you got some, as far as like nuts are concerned, peanut butter is actually pretty high in protein, not astronomically high. The thing that you got to be careful of with a lot of that stuff is you have to make sure that you're not taking in a whole bunch of sugar.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another big thing for me that I've been doing is I've been avoiding sugar. And I've done a pretty good job of that. But I got these protein bars that are 20 grams of protein per bar. And it's 190 calories per bar. And it's like, that's kind of about the best you're going to get. Because any higher in protein, you're going to be a lot higher in calories. And then that would be most of my allowance for that day.
Yeah, because at that point, it's more of like a meal replacement bar. It's not necessarily a protein bar.
But so all that plus I got some whey protein supplement for after the gym, just to cap off the day, hit right at 100 grams.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, God Almighty, like at least 33% of my calories a day now are from just trying to hit my protein goal.
Yeah, it's once you start really concentrating on like how much protein you're taking in during the day, like you notice that how much of the deficit you're operating as far as like your protein intake.
Yeah.
Because even still, like you could eat like a whole chicken breast and that's like 24 grams of protein.
Yeah.
Like it's hard it's hard to get it down.
Yeah. It really is. I mean, there's like this, because when I started out doing this, my main focus was just losing weight. So all weight loss is calories in versus calories out. It doesn't matter what you eat, as long as you aren't eating more than what you're burning, you're going to lose weight. It's very simple mathematics. But my thing was, okay, I'm burning all these calories and I'm ending each day at negative 500, negative 600. I was like, but I'm doing all this heavy lifting and I'm like, I know that my body needs to replace, it has to build back that muscle with something. I was like, if I'm starving myself of 600 calories, and that's, I'm wasting my time here. And so I was asking around, and somebody was like, the rule of thumb is you want to have 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And I was like, fuck, if I did that, that's 255 grams of protein a day.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, that's the rule of thumb for people that are actively trying to gain muscle mass.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the rule of thumb for like a lot of athletes and stuff like that, is they'll eat just to maintain that amount of muscle mass. That's how much protein they eat just to maintain it.
God almighty.
And, football players, basketball players, like they all understand this. Like, the ones that, you can see they're obviously in much better shape. I mean, at the point of like professional athletes, like everybody's in fantastic shape, but you can tell even then, like the ones that really understand and really take like their fitness into account.
Mm-hmm. But what a fucking battle that would be. I mean,
it's constant. Yeah. It's I'm sure it's a constant thing.
I mean, it probably helps if you're a professional athlete and you've got like, dietitians and stuff and personal chefs, and you don't have to think about it. You just tell them like, hey, here's what I got to hit, make my food for me.
Well, yeah, too. I mean, it would when you get to that point, it's your body is what's making you all that money. So it's like you have to kind of take care of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That's kind of, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like this is my meal ticket. Like,
There's some incentive there.
yeah,
But a lot of
exactly.
those like professional athletes, they don't, they don't operate at like a 2,000 calorie a day diet, like, is, suggested for like a normal person. I mean, I think Michael Phelps, his caloric intake is what, 10,000 calories a day.
It has like 10 to 15,000 calories a day.
However, he's shredded.
However, the amount of calories that he was burning through training and swimming, like I'm
Yeah.
sure
Yeah.
was fucking insane.
Yeah. If like me or you ate 10,000 calories a day, we'd be on my 600-pound life by next week.
Yeah. We could give those 1,000-pound sisters a run for their money.
Ooh. how do you, and I'm not trying to disparage those women or the people on 600-pound life, whatever, but I just don't understand how do you get there?
You know, I think a lot of what it is probably people probably they put it off. You know what I mean? Like they try not to realize, they try to trick themselves into thinking that that's not the reality of the situation. And then, you look up and you're at 450 pounds. And I'm sure that mountain seems fucking impossible.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine being like 420, 450 pounds and being like, I have to lose like 300 pounds? Like,
Yeah.
how am I going to do this? Like, I can hardly get up off the fucking couch and I have to lose all this weight.
Like you might as well just keep going the direction you've been going.
Yeah.
But it's like even before getting to 400 pounds, like there's isn't there like a lot of, milestones along the way where you're like, I got to turn this ship around now. Like,
well, I mean, yeah, I mean,
I
even
can't
like
watch
in my situation and stuff, it's like I'm not that bad off, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I guess we're going back up another pant size.
It's a slow burn.
Yeah. Like, well, I guess as long as I'm here, as long as I'm right here, like it'll be all right. And then you turn around, you're like, looks like I'm going up another pant size.
Throw another X on that shirt label, honey. Are you talking about people who can't wipe their own ass and can't wash their own backs and can't get out of bed? And it's like, you didn't just wake up that way one day.
Yeah, it's like I said, I think a lot of it is people, they understand that's the direction that it's that it's headed. But I think they're just trying to ignore the problem.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, that's the only reasonable explanation that I can come up with is just like being like, I don't even want to think about it. Like, the thought of having to deal with this is you just like, I can't do it right now.
Yeah.
Man. At least that's my take. That's how I would probably view how those people think.
I just can imagine like the heaviest I've ever been was 285. No, I'm sorry. I did hit 300 one time. And when I hit 300, I was like, okay, I have got to do something about this. And I went down probably to about 270 or so. And then I got up to 285 and I was at 285 for a long time. I just kind of fluctuated around that number. But it was like when before Mary and I, before our wedding, I did a 500 calorie a day diet. And I think the only reason why that didn't kill me is because it was when I was working at that job, I said, I never moved. I never did anything. So I probably burned somewhere close to 600 or 700 calories a day.
Well, I mean, and also too, you have to take into consideration, like your body actively burns about 1,800 calories a day just with the shit that it does, like pumping your heart and your lungs are moving and you're thinking and you're moving your arms. There's like regular day-to-day maintenance shit that your body has to do in order for you to be alive. Like you are burning a lot of calories.
But I mean, I would, in the morning, I would eat one apple. And then at lunch, I would eat one slice of lunch meat. And then I think that would put me at about 300 calories left for the day. And out of that, I couldn't have bread or sugar or dairy or fried food or fat or or nothing. And I did that for like 2 or 3 months, and no, not even that long, probably 2 months. And I lost 45 pounds. And then I had one particularly bad day at work, and I went and got a Martin's biscuit and blew the whole fucking thing out of the water. And I gained 25 pounds in like 2 weeks. So I was still at a net loss, but man.
Like all that work.
Yeah. It didn't take long for me to just fucking wreck that whole thing. That one steak, egg, and cheese biscuit.
Gotcha. It set you on the wrong path again.
Got its fucking hooks in me.
Was it I remember when I was getting ready to go in the military, I had gone up and like taken like the ASVAB or like the pre-ASVAB, which is essentially like what jobs that you're smart enough to do for them.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey man, you're gonna have to lose like 30 pounds so that, you know, we can get you signed up and everything. And I remember thinking and at this point, like me and Allison were really struggling with money. Like we had no money. Like we were poor. And I remember I was like, all right, well, I got to lose the weight. And I was like, what's the quickest way to do it? And I remember in the morning, I would have a granola bar, and then I would drink a cup of black coffee. And then for lunch, I would eat a salad, and I would have water. And then at night, because I was working at the shop where Dad works, and then I was also working over in Atlanta serving tables. And so I would leave there, and then I would go over and serve tables over there, and then I'd have a salad to eat for dinner. Well, I wasn't losing the weight fast enough, and I didn't really have time to like work out or anything. So I said, how can I
time in the day?
Yeah, I was like, how can I speed this process up? So what I started doing was that I would come home from serving tables.
Wait, is this when you bought the sauna suit?
Yeah, so I bought this like sauna suit, and I would take a comforter and I would go into a small bathroom, and I would run the hot water on the tub until there was no hot water left. Ugh. And I would take that comforter and I would wrap it around myself, and I would just sit there and close my eyes and go to sleep.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I would set an alarm for an hour. So I would just be in there sweating like that for an hour. And then like I had like no fucking, like I had no, I was so weak by the time I got out of there. Like I could hardly stand up. And like the weight was just falling off of me.
You were just desiccated.
Yeah. And I remember I was thinking, well, what's the next step? And then so I went and bought a bunch of laxatives and some diuretics. It was like trying to weight cut. And so I did this within a span of about 21 days, and I lost almost 40 pounds.
God almighty.
And I went back up to the recruiter's office. I was like, hey man, I was like, well, I'm ready to sign up. And they were like, what the fuck? They were like, it's only been 3 weeks. I was like, yeah, man, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. I promise I didn't do meth.
They're like, all right, well, I guess let's get you signed up.
It's like that scene in The Simpsons where they go to take some blood from Mr. Burns and they poke him with a needle and just a bunch of dust comes out. Yeah. You just had no moisture in your body.
I just look back on that now. I'm like, dear God, if I tried to do that now, I'd be dead. There's no way I could do that.
Yeah, you were roasting yourself like a like a side of beef.
Yeah, like the one day I'll probably die and they'll be like, what is all this fucking damage from?
And meat just falling off the bone.
Like I'll be like, they'll be like autopsying me. They're like, what the fuck did this guy do to his body?
Like, they're like, this sounds crazy, but I think he cooked himself for about a month. He slow roasted himself.
I have like a smoke ring on it.
Oh man. Well, I think that's about all we got time for today.
Yeah, sorry about we forgot to post this cringe video. I'm going to try to do better. Like
we didn't we?
Yeah, no excuse, but I've been super busy with work up here, so this is a very large job that I'm on. So I'm doing my best to try to.
It's not like we don't have cringe to share with you guys.
Yeah, we have plenty of cringe.
We've got plenty. We also have a little surprise thing that we're going to do the next in-person podcast.
We do.
Do you want to go ahead?
Certainly do.
Do you want to go ahead and spill the beans on that now, or do you want to wait?
I do not. I want to wait.
Okay, we'll wait. It's funny, this thing that you got, I saw when I was out and about one day, and I said, that would be funny to do that on the podcast, but I'm not going to do that to Wesley. And then you sent me the picture of it, and you said, hey, I got this for us to do. And I was like, well, Wesley has made the decision for me.
That's what I was like, oh, yeah, he'll definitely be down for it.
So that's going to be a fun episode. I don't know if that'll be the next one. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, should we do it like that, or should we do it like as an aside and then we can like film it?
I don't know. Well, I say we could do it as an aside. That's extra content in it.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, let's do that.
We'll do that.
So we'll just do that right after the podcast, and then we'll post it up on the the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Hey, that could be our first video for YouTube.
Yeah, good. Oh, that was another thing. I was going to get the finish up working on the YouTube page the other day, and I didn't because I'm a lazy fat shit.
Well, there you go. Same as me. Look at that.
This isn't anything new. It's just par for the course over here. But yeah, thank you again, everybody, for listening and the continued support. We do appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who's left us reviews and ratings and everything on all the different podcast platforms and shared the podcast. We're working on the stickers; those will be coming soon. Well, yeah, thank you for everything. Thank you for all the support.
We enjoy doing it, and it's always nice to see that people actually do listen to the podcast. It still is kind of baffling that we have over 1,000 times that multiple people have listened to us just sit here and talk.
Yeah, I can't imagine that I'm all that interesting.
I wouldn't either, but I guess 1,000 downloads says different.
I guess so. Well, Wesley, do you have anything else you'd like to close with?
Nope. Just again, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sincerely.
All righty. Well, that's the podcast. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye, everyone.